Hello everyone, my name is Yhemmie and you're welcome to an awesome episode of Personal Time with Yhemmie. Today we're going to be talking about something very practical in our Christian community, and that is developing our worship lifestyle in the midst of all these distractions. And today we're going to be having someone very special in the house. So please stay tuned, I'll be right back. Welcome back everybody. We have Yebo in the house. I'm sure a lot of you know him as Monday. I've known Monday for over 4 years now, and I've known him in the music ministry. He has been a worship leader for a long time, and I'm sure he's a celebrity everywhere. Okay, so I'm particularly very interested in this topic because there's a lot of distractions out there, and looking at your life, you know, from let's say when you give your life to Christ up until now, how have you been able to develop this worship culture, worship lifestyle, develop being a worship leader? Because I know that you lead worship a lot, get invited for worship programs and all of that. So how did you get to that point, right from where you give your life to Christ?
All right. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me. So talking about worship lifestyle, for me personally, it didn't start as me trying to become a worship leader or become a worshiper in the sense of, you know, being a music minister. But it started for me as just trying to develop my talent, which is drumming. A lot of you know me as a drummer. But you know, listening to songs, trying to score songs, and just, you know, sometimes I would lie down in our parlor, just lie down and listen to songs, and I'll sleep off. And then my dad would come and wake me in the middle of the night and tell me to go to my room to sleep. But along the line, doing that, I discovered that I could relate with God more through music than almost any other thing. And I got to realize that this wasn't just something, it wasn't just an act. It was more than an act. It was supposed to be a lifestyle. And it was more than just the music. It was, like I said, a lifestyle. And so when I got to that realization, I began to, you know, of course, attend seminars and then teachings in church. I mean, I came to realize that worship is not just about what happens in church. It's not just about what happens on Sundays. It's not just about what happens through singing. It's actually everything that has to do with your life as an individual. Because I believe that the Bible tells us in Revelations that, Revelations 4:11, it says, "Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory, honor, and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created." So first of all, I got to realize that I was created for God's pleasure. And if I live my life giving God pleasure, that is worship. And that is what worship is actually. So it went from just being something that has to do with music for me to being a lifestyle. And
giving pleasure to God,
exactly,
basically. Just
doing what pleases God, because the word pleasure there actually translates to doing His will. Okay, so it's seeking out what God wants, what God's purpose is for your life, and then pursuing it.
So what tips or what advice would you give to, let's say, baby Christians, new converts, people that are still, you know, struggling in terms of, you know, building this pleasurable lifestyle for God amidst all these distractions?
First of all, like I said earlier, if you shift your focus from what is happening around to pleasing God, I believe that's the first step. Okay, because Jesus said, "In this world we'll have tribulation, but be of good cheer."
Yeah.
All right. So the truth is, these things are not going to stop. But even in the midst of this whole distraction, God doesn't expect us to be less of worshipers. All right. So it is important that we learn to shift our focus from just focusing on what's happening how we can get through what's happening to actually doing what we are called to do in spite of these things. The book of Genesis, chapter 6, I think, chapter 6, we read from verse 5. God was describing how he was so angry with man, or the Bible said it repented him that he created man. All right. But in verse 8, I like the way the Living Bible puts it. It said, but Noah was a pleasure to God. Full stop. Now, it means that for God, even while looking at every other thing and it looked like he couldn't see anything that would make him happy, there was just one person that he would look at, and he could find pleasure just looking at this person. And what did the Bible say about Noah? It says that he sought the will of God. Okay.
And that was what you talked about, pleasure,
exactly.
Meaning the will of God
Exactly.
and all that,
So it means that the first thing to do is to seek what God's will is for your life. Okay. In building a life of worship, the first thing we need to do is to seek to know what God's will is for our lives, and then to pursue it. That's the first step. Then the next thing is to actually pursue it with all your heart. Okay, so it's not just enough to know it, it's important that you follow after it and pursue it and seek to do it with all your heart.
I just want to bring out a segment which is music out of the whole of worship. So in terms of music, because I know you're a music person, So in terms of music, what are the things? Because I know that a lot of people, I mean, let's face it, you probably might find secular music more amusing and more interesting than, let's say, some gospel songs and all of that. But so how do I then build a library of great scripturally based gospel song?
Music is emotional. It has an emotional part of it. Yes, it's one of the tools through which we worship God. All right. Music is not worship, okay, but it's one of the tools that we use to worship God. All right. So, if you're going to build a library of worship songs, first of all, like I said in the beginning, your focus should be God. Right? If my focus is God, then I will seek to find songs that help me connect with Him, songs that help me, enjoy the atmosphere.
His presence.
I enjoy His presence, exactly. So songs that also speak to me about God, and then help me also to express my heartfelt adoration and reverence to God.
For me, I think it's in the lyrics, basically. If it's Christ-centered,
yes.
If it's not Christ-centered.
So at the end of the day, what is the message that the song is passing? That's what's important.
Thank you very much, Monday, for that. You said something very profound, and you said that we should keep living our lives for God's pleasure. And it's very important, because if we focus on God, it takes our gaze or our focus from these distractions, and we get to know the will of God and please Him. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and watch out for the next episode of Personal Time with Yhemmie. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Yhemmie Speaks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.